Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this new figure unboxing and review we're going to be looking at the Legacy Evolution Leader Class Skyquake figure. Yep, dead excited to be looking at this guy. So what we're going to do with the video, we're going to unbox him live in a second, have a look at the entire contents of the packaging. We're going to have a detailed look at him in both of his modes to help you decide how you want to display him. I've got needle nose, so I'm going to show you that gimmick which they're doing there, which in fact is a direct copy, which I'm going to show you as well with the original Generation 1 Skyquake and a Predator jet. I've also got Transformers Prime version of Skyquake, so we're going to do a comparison with him, and we'll see how he looks in displays with some other figures in the Legacy toy line. So loads to get through with this video, but before we start, two things. One, I need to thank In Demand Toys in the UK, because that's where I purchased this from, and as you can see they got him to me nice and safely. And the second is just to appreciate this beautiful box art. Now I know that people don't like the closed boxes, but if they are going to do closed boxes they have to keep doing beautiful pictures like this. Also, I believe that the QR code scanning works via the TV or whatever app you're watching it on. So if you want to scan that there, you can check out his stats via that. Just quickly, we've got the alternate mode there on the side, and indeed there's his head and bust on the side. Right then, as I've said, can't wait to see this guy. Gutted I'm losing my voice, but I just can't wait to see this guy, so I'm going to crack on with the video. Anyway, I always tend to open it from the bottom. I just find it easier. It means that everything, I'm going to jinx myself now because it won't come out, I bet you, opens up much easier, because although I am opening the box up, obviously not keeping its mint and seal box, I do still like to keep the boxes, and I find that by coming in at the bottom, I've totally told you to jinx myself. There we go. They do come apart that little bit easier, and you can save them that bit easy. Right, let's have a look at this, because at the moment lots of the leader class figures aren't really fitting in the boxes. This guy, I believe, is quite a big figure. Excuse the noise. Oh wow, he's in alternate mode. Now I had no idea that was going to happen, so that's going to change the normal sequence of my order of my videos, because what I normally do is come back and look at him in the alternate mode. So what we are going to do with this video now then, we're going to set him free from the packaging. We're going to have a detailed look at him in this mode, do the needle nose thing I mentioned and the comparison with the Prime version, and then we'll come back and have a look at him in his robot mode, and again see how he looks like that as well. So let me set him free from here and I'll come straight back to you. Okay then, I've set him free from all of his packaging, and this guy, he just looks and he just feels great, to be honest. He really does feel, as I say, nice and weighty. You can see, I suppose, all the bits where all the housing is all clipping together, giving you the impression that this is going to be, quite a complex looking transformation process as well. So what we can do is we can fold up these fins. To be honest, I think they look a little bit better like that. You can adjust all of these, to be honest. The only ones that you can't is, I've had a little play with this and I've realised that it popped straight out, but it did clip straight back in, so this one doesn't move at all. Just be aware of that. We've got a lovely translucent orange there in the cockpit. It is, of course, does lift up, and there's even detail there, obviously, of seats. You've obviously got no pilots or anything, but it's just a nice little feature. On the underside, if we wanted to, we can then, of course, take the landing gear. We can bring this out as well. There's 3 of them all there. You can see pretty much how everything's all tucked away nice and snugly there as well. It also looks like you've got 2 choices to how you want the thrusters to go. I think, to be honest, they look a little bit better than that. Obviously, they're going to be feet. You can make that out already. They're covered up if they're that way around, but I think it just looks that little bit better when they're there. Now, the 2 accessories that come with him is this beautifully detailed and very well sculpted Gatling gun. And we've also got like an energon sort of sword, I think this is. It does fold out. So I'll have a bit more of a detailed look at this in his robot mode. The reason why I'm saying that is, there we go, it's because the only, I suppose, negative or sort of disappointing thing about this is I can't find anywhere, unless I can attach it in there in a second, to attach all of the parts to the jet when he's in jet mode. So maybe I can actually, now I've just worked that out. So the Gatling gun can obviously fit underneath like so, and it doesn't hinder anything. It just sits there. It's not raising it all up. It does look fine. And you know what, I think I've just answered my own question with that then, by the looks of this. If I can slot that in there, which I can, that is how you can keep every single thing on him, even when he's in the alternate mode as well. Right, this is going to be really quite difficult, but I'm going to have a go at it because the Generation 1 version is ginormous. As you can see, it's absolutely huge compared to this, but you can see now where all the homages from this are coming. I've got the Transformers Prime version as well, but I'm just going to probably do that mainly in the robot mode, because this is just homaging, and I've got to be super careful. For those of you who don't know anything about Generation 1, this has got gold plastic, and this is incredibly brittle, so I'm hardly even going to touch it. But you can see how we've got these fold out bits of the wing there. The same at the back. Again, I'm not going to touch them whatsoever. I'm going to attempt without joining to show you the mega visor gimmick, which this guy's got as well. So let's just have a quick look. These are the same. The tail fins at the back are the same. The way we've got the two translucent bits there, you've got obviously on the cockpit and the bit at the back. You can see what I mean. This might shock people as I say just how big this is. If you do want to see this one in more detail, there is of course a video of this in his own video on this channel. You can also slot this up and down, and then that gives you again the same sort of links in the visors inside there. So right, now this little gimmick, that it's got to be a homage to it, or I've got to expect a repaint of this figure. For the reason being, this of course is needle nose, and as you're pretty much aware now because we've seen it a few times, we've got the two tabs there. You can choose. Obviously what you need to do is you need to fold these down, and we're going to attach this. Let's have a go. I've not had a go at it yet. I would imagine it would be quite easy. He says that, yep, that's just rested on the top right there. Now what you would do, what the G1 gimmick was, it was brilliant. It was called a mega visor gimmick. So you'd get this, your little Predator jet. There was 4 of these. There was Talon, snare, there was loads of them. Super basic but brilliant, to be honest. And again, I've said this loads of times, we're definitely going to get some redecos of needle nose in one of these 4. And what this gimmick was, it was called a mega visor gimmick. And again, if you want to see this in more detail and pretty much working, it is in its own video. Just search for Predators. Now what this is, this square then could fit, you basically get an image there which you can sort of make out, and this square would fit right on top inside there, so it would balance on the top of it. I'm not even going to attempt it. I'm just going to rest it exactly like that in there, and that was called the mega visor gimmick. So because I can't show you, unfortunately, I just want to show you that the interesting thing is that in the Skyquake instructions, there it is, and it's showing you with needle nose. So they're definitely making it a feature. And although I can't show you with that, if I just move the robot mode one out of the way for the comparison coming up in a minute, here is a sealed example of another Predator. Again, all the same sort of shape as needle nose, but there again is a picture of the mega visor gimmick. So you could either do it on Stalker or you could do it on Skyquake. So I fully expect that to happen, hopefully in the next part, in the evolution phase. Right, the only other thing as well is the G1 had dropping bombs which would all fall out of here, and a few other things apart from it being 3 times the size nearly. Right, let's just have another quick look. I've got the Prime, as I say, Skyquake, but I'm not going to pop him into his jet mode because they're just too different. I think this does just play homage to the Generation 1 version of him. And I think, in honesty, I think I've covered everything there is to say about it, apart from it is spectacular. It does look good. I love the way that you can choose how you want to put all these wings and fins, etc. And I suppose the best thing about it is it looks menacing at the same time. It does look really good. Right, I think we need to get him into his robot mode and just have a quick look at his accessories and some more comparisons in that mode as well. Okay, then we're back, and as you can see, he's already in his robot mode, ready for this part. But quick apologies for no transformation process on this video. That is for a couple of reasons. One is to keep the main length of the video down, and 2 is not to spoil it for anybody who doesn't want it spoiling for themselves with it being a new figure. But the transformation process is separately uploaded if you want to see that. It's a bit of a tutorial because it is really intricate and indeed quite detailed, to be honest, but it's very clever. I'm just going to show you a couple of parts especially, which I know people would like to see. This is a forearm cover gap coverer, which I know a load of subscribers always comment on. You can actually cover up the holes in the forearms where the hands come from, and pretty much cover up some of the gap in the back of the legs as well. The rest of it though is as you can see, it's not too bad. Now, articulation wise, it's incredible. Let's start off with looking at the head though, because the head sculpt is beautiful. Very, very good looking. You can see you've got like a shiny metallic looking silver in there, as well as the gunmetal grey. You've got the red eyes, the lovely, it's metallic looking green as well. Full articulation on it. You can see it's on a mushroom all the way around, up and down. Now, articulation, as I say, in the rest of it is just spectacular. You've got like a double butterfly bicep joint there. It'll go backwards and forwards. If we lift this up and out of the way, you've also got nice tight ratchets. It'll spin all the way around out to the side. It'll also swivel just below the shoulder. It'll swivel with the wrist as well. Every single thing you can think of on this is accounted for. You've got a fully unrestricted waist swivel. You've got ratchets, as you're going to hear, on the legs in a minute, up and down and around. That is full rotation here, there and everywhere. Knee bend, ankle tilt, ankle rock. As we've just seen, the wrist swivel. You can have the arm and the shoulder cover up if you wanted to, or down, and it's still not that restricted, to be honest. You can see the bicep will flex up and down, no issues whatsoever. It's just a beautiful looking figure, and it is easily the best so far of the Legacy. I think the Legacy toy line, including the first 3 waves, never mind Evolution as well. Dragon Megs was good, but this guy takes it to another level, to be honest. So good. There, everything is folded over around in the back. We can cover that down as well. You can choose how you want to put the wings, to be honest. I'm just looking at the box art there, and I think it's got them folded back. It's entirely up to you. Let's bring this guy in just for a quick first comparison. So obviously this guy was a Voyager, and lots of the pieces on him are sort of rubbery and all over the place, and the transformation on this as well was really awkward and not that great, and neither was the alternate mode. That's probably why I didn't show it you, to be fair. But compared to this guy, again, different league, different price points, I know that, and indeed the weapons are much better as well. I'm just looking for this was one of the silly MechTech weapons that came with the original, and this would have been so much better if it could have just held there, but it didn't. It always sprung back and out, and of course you had the sword. So this is going to be a sort of direct comparison with the sword, but it looks so much better. Look, it's translucent, it looks great. We can pop this, in fact, let's pop this in his hand. I wasn't sure if it was going to go then, with this being a brand new toy. Then we've got the Gatling gun, and there's a couple of handles on here, in all honesty. What I'll do then is I'll show you this. I'm going to attach it to the back there, and the reason why I'm going to attach it to the back is I'm going to show you this part here on the box where it's saying Evo Fusion, which is basically, let's just move him out of the way for a second, where you probably need to lift this shoulder part up, to be honest. Take the sword out of his hand, obviously, and you need to swing this around at the shoulder, so you can bring this up, fold this handle out as well, and then what this can do is he can hold on to it as well. To be honest, you can spin it around like that, and then we can pop it in his hand, and you can make some really good, much better than me, poses and displays with this gun. Oh, as he knocks the legs out. Again, you can see what I mean. I think it looks good. It works. You could then, even if you want to, yeah, you can still sort of cover it up so there's not too much there. If you do that, though, it does make it look like it's quite empty there, to be honest. But that is only for that or one of them particular poses. In honesty, it's one of the poses that I'm not really going to be using. I much prefer him just sort of standing straight on, maybe holding the Gatling gun, perhaps normally. What I mean by that is, I'm going to show you right now. Let's rotate this over, fold it there. You can either put it in the front, or do you know what I probably would do? I probably would just have it hanging behind, ready. Like, it looks like he's just going to flip it out, ready to attack. To be honest, it looks good, and you can see it's quite long as well. The sword as well is brilliant. It's not huge, it doesn't need to be, it serves its purpose. The translucent goes really well with the translucent there in the, I suppose it's a bit like a faux cockpit, isn't it? It wasn't the cockpit, it was hidden away. And of course the cockpit is actually, funny enough, hidden away well under there, completely out of the way. Again, we can spin this around, fully posable. He looks very good. What I want to do though is, again, and you're going to laugh at this because he's just huge. Here is the original G1. He's not going to fit in, is he? And I've got to be super careful because of all the gold on it. Right, let's give you an idea then. Let's bring this up and out, so you can see he's much bigger. You can see there's a few homages, maybe more with the head there, but this guy is mainly homaged in the alternate mode. He's much more in robot mode homage to the Prime version of him, which of course he is a Prime universe. They all look great together though, don't they? I think they really do. But again, I think what separates this one from the rest is the playability factor and the amount of stuff and the things that you can do and attach to him, because he's got an abundance of, let's carefully put this out of the way. I might have to just leave him there. It doesn't matter if he's off screen. You've got 5mm holes here on the sides, on the wings, of course. If you wanted to, you could take needle noses, target masters. You could pop these on the shoulders and it'd work, and you could still, you know, power him up that way. You could then do something similar to the Seekers, where you could put the weapons or the attachments on the inside of the wings there. You've even got the ports on the side of the legs. I mean, this guy can be, I'd love to see what Bot Bender will do with this, to be fair. Combine it with the Junkians, combine it with the fossilizers, anything. There's so many ports, so many pegs, so much, I suppose, possibilities, to be fair. Let's bring in some more figures just for some other quick comparisons. This is some other figures that have been released in the Legacy and indeed in the Legacy Evolution toy line. So we can see he is a bit big. I know these are Voyager class, the ones I'm putting down, but I think the reason again for the price point on this leader class figure is the transformation process, is the gap filling things on the forearms, on the legs, and I suppose just the way he feels super robust. And I suppose the fact that he's a completely new mould, whereas obviously these two especially were just redecos. Right, a couple more things to do then. So, even though this, it's an alright, I like Bulkhead, to be fair, but he does look completely different. He is a bit G1ified, which I know is a bit of a made up word, but that's what everybody else was saying. There is Knockout, and indeed we've got RC. And loads of people hate on this mould, but I don't mind it at all. I like it. Whether or not we need 4 versions of it though now, of course, with the new aerial confirmed, I don't really know, but you can see, I think that they do all look relatively good together. Yeah, they look good. Let's just pop these down out of the way. And I have got Needle Nose next to him still here as well, which we can still attach. Sorry, which we can still compare next to him. But I think the only way to finish this video off, to be honest, is to bring back in the other Skyquakes bit by bit, I suppose, so you can gauge from them. Because the weird thing with this is now, let's move this box totally out of the way. So we've got the original, which is the biggest, and we've got the middle one. If I put that there, he's just about gonna fit in. Then it was this, and then of course we finished off with that one. So let me know what your favorite is, if you've got any experience with the others, of course. Again, if you've not seen any full in-depth reviews of these, there's reviews of both of these on this channel. Just type Skyquake into the search bar, or Skyquake review rather, and you'll find either the Prime one or the Generation 1 version as well. And the jets, if you wanted to have a look at them jets as well from G1, they were known as Predator jets. You can have a search for them as well. And let's keep our fingers crossed that we get things like that in the toy lines in the future. But I'm going to wrap it up there, because this truly is a spectacular figure and I don't want to butcher or go on any more about it. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Take care.